Hi, my name's Matt, and this is a brief dev walkthrough of my as-yet-untitled, I guess you'd call it the 3-track game, for reasons that are quite apparent. So the general gist of this game is that you play as this little jelly bean character over here, and your goal is to get all the way over and around these obstacles to the end over there. And the whole point of this game is that it's quite punishing. There's no checkpoints or anything. You have to go through in one clean sweep, around everything, and as soon as you touch anything, any obstacle, you die instantly. You do get a chance to retry, get a 5-second timer, and when you click retry it just reloads the scene. You get to avoid your previous mistakes and go through and try and beat the level. Otherwise, it just if the timer counts all the way down, it just takes you to the death screen, which you can then quit the application or go back to the main menu. From here, I've got 2 levels at the moment. I do have a 3rd one in progress down here somewhere, but I did have some problems with it, so I'm kind of still working on that at the moment. That was actually the 2nd level I just showed you. The first one is more of a tutorial level, because I made the 2nd level first, and it was a bit challenging, I was told. Less so for me, because obviously when you make something yourself, you kind of know what's coming, you know what to expect, and you know how to handle it from hours and hours of testing. So I tried to make this one a little bit simpler. As you can see, there's a lot less movement involved for people just trying to get to grips with the game and how it handles. Though I have been told that this is actually quite challenging in and of itself. I'm not quite sure how to make it much easier without losing a fair portion of the point of the game. But yeah, just coming through down here, and we get to the end of the level. Get a nice little trumpet sound, which is always lovely. It takes you back to the level select screen. So yeah, going back to our mystery 3rd level, which, like I said, was still in progress. You can see it's a lot more complex and vertical than the other levels, and that's really because I wanted to make this one a lot more brutal and punishing for the user. Kind of just to not make it a bad user experience, but to kind of give the user like a want or a need to finish the level. Because the great thing about these kind of skill-based games is they kind of draw you in. Things like, not to name drop, but Flappy Bird and Geometry Dash, they do it very well, where they perfect the level of movement and how the actual game mechanics work so well that the user never really feels like the game has cheated them, and that saves them a lot of frustration, to be honest. That makes people want to come back for more and finish the level. And so the actual way the mechanic works in this game is fairly simple, to be honest. If we just go into the script over here, this is the move script of the player. The way he moves is just a constant add force to the right of the transform times a bit of acceleration in the update method, and then all the commands for switching lanes and jumping, etc., are all in the update, constantly being tested to make sure if they're activated or not. And then these functions down here, the late update, this basically makes sure that the character never goes faster than his own max speed. So it just sets if the new velocity is more than the max speed, make it the max speed. And then there's a function up here, I believe here, invoke repeating, which is calling the increased max speed, which is gradually, very very slightly, every second, increasing the max speed by 0.1, which kind of it gives it a bit of an increase in difficulty. It's hardly noticeable as you play through the entire game, but if you try and move the character all the way to the end and try and do some jumps or get around some obstacles at the end of a level, you will find it pretty hard by that gradual increase in speed. Other than that, though, there's not really much left to cover. We've got a list here of the obstacle prefabs. You can see a lot of them here. We've got the totems, which I'm a fan of myself. Took a while. We've got the walls. We've got spikes, and over up there we've got the arch, which is more prevalent in the original / level 2 level. We've got obviously the lovely colour fade effect, which was masterfully done with the use of 4 spotlights, which, I mean, it does the job. It looks nice, and it's this one in particular. It's a nice gradual fade. It does seem to be trickier to master on certain colours, but I tried to use ones that weren't in the original levels to try and differentiate them a bit better. And with that said though, I'm fairly sure that's everything. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.